First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Caesars Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the New Orleans Saints. Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started.
And we are underway from the Superdome.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Levis now off of play action.
And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Isaiah Foskey, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Now a throw here, hauled in.
A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
Levis on 3rd and 1. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And this will be a Vikings first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back to the ground on first down, here's Madison. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You look at this Saints defense.
This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early, chip away at their timing.
It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
This defense for the Saints, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
3rd and 2, here's Levis. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Vikings first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon.
Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Off of play action, it's Watson. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. And they get to him right out of the gate, and this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-play sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now.
60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Back to Mixon on first down. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. Watson now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
Levis now on 1st and 10. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And it's second down. You can look at this Saints defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Levis's throw taken in by Hockenson here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Here's a give to Madison running right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
After 1, 7-3 the score. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Well, he still makes a catch, even though it was tapped by the linebacker. third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
Well, they go play action. Here's Levis.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
On second down, this is Madison.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Levis on 3rd down. This goes out wide from Madison.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Saints will have the football back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Here's Watson. Here's a diving catch right side. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Room here to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, Watson.
That would almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Watson.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Watson. Over the middle, it's complete. Touchdown, Saints. From 13 yards out. And the Saints have taken the lead.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Here's Madison running on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Levis. That's caught downfield by Addison. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, here's Levis. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Alexander Madison with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings are able to move back in front. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and the lead is now 14-10. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And he'll elect not to run with it. The fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Throws right side, and that's complete. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
This is where you can try and get a tight end in space. They like this matchup, so they're going to let their 2 receivers to his outside run simple little short routes, hoping to suck up the secondary. And that'll free up space for their tight end on a corner route to make a big play.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 1st and 10. Here's Levis. Pass caught here by Osborne. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A 2nd down throw from Levis. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Levis looking to throw.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Over the dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will stay a 4-point game.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception.
Now a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Watson.
There's Chris Olave.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
And the fair catch signaled for and taken, so they'll begin this 3rd quarter from their 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
On first down, Watson escaping the pressure right. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An option handoff here to Mixon. Sheds off the tackle. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, New Orleans! Joe Mixon with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter.
Now the Saints offense will remain on the field and go for 2. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Levis.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Vikings send out their punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Mixon will try the right side. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Watson. And that's complete to Cooks.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Watson now going to run the option right. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield,
That's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. So 3 field goals that he's hit. Now this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. He tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Levis to throw it. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. And this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
31.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Another try for Mixon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it won't be easy.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do. They'll try and run with Mixon. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints.
Joe Mixon.
His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year.
And the Saints are on their way to a 13th win on the year as they add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Levis in trouble. Down he goes.
And now they're in the hurry-up.
Levis now on second down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. Now he's loose down the left sideline.
And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Joe Mixon taking it in from the 20. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the lead is now 24.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Here's Levis. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Hey, got to snap it. Got to snap it. At the 47-yard line.
Mixing up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 113 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Once again, they run with Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape. Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Tough spot here, third down and 11. Looking for the out route here, and he's got Cooks. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Cameron Dicker on for the field goal of 45 yards.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
This game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. So much